Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. I am going to just run this trailer right here up to the cows and I'm going to tip it out. Then we can start cleaning up the cows with the loader tractor. So I'll tip that one out there and then I'll go and get the loader tractor with the bucket on. It's not got the bucket on at the moment. It's got a bale spike on it. So what I'm actually going to do is if I take the bale spike and I spike those two bales over there, we can take them, we can dump them in for the sheep while we go on round, and we want to change over and want to put the bucket on so that I can start just removing the silage that's out in front of the cows. That's what we want to be doing. We want to clear up the silage in front of the cows. I've also got to clean up in front of the pigs, clean up in front of the sheep. We've got a few cleanups to go and do. I'm not spending any of our money in today's episode. I'm going to wait and find out what you want me to do with everything that I was asking you to talk about yesterday's, basically the new combine, options that we were looking at, and well, the slurry and manure sale thing is something that I want to look at doing, but it's not something that I need to worry about doing. It's not going to affect our money. That's not going to make any difference to the money situation. To do what I could do before I actually get started with cleaning stuff up with this one, let's just pause that one a second, go up to here, I'll pull this trailer forward. This trailer can sit right here and not do anything further. So that one can stop there. And I'll go and get the mowers on this tractor a minute. And we'll get started with doing the grass, because I think that job is going to take longer than doing the grain in the field over there. So I'll leave the front weight right here. I'm going to get both lots of mowers onto the tractor, and then we're going to go and do a few times around the outside of the field that we wanted to do. I'm going to do 3 times, I think. I'm thinking that would probably be best. If we do thrice around the field, then we can come back and we can, once we've done the 3 times around, we'll get the baler on, we'll run round, and we will bale and wrap 3 rounds around the outside edge, and then we can just have the front mounted mower and the baler on the back, and then leave the hired help to go and do all of the rest of the field. Now, in theory, it should all work out absolutely perfectly. In theory. Doesn't mean to say that it will, but I'm hopeful. I'm always ever hopeful. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to bring that one back over to there, and then I'm going to unfold that one, and we'll go back onto this bit. Right, so I can start you up like that, and I can go to the front one then, start that one up, and then control like that. And yes, it's definitely up in the air a little bit too high, that front mower. Definitely up in the air a little bit too high. It's absolutely not going down onto the ground correctly. I haven't looked actually to see if there's an update on the mod pack, so maybe they've tweaked it slightly so that it does run ever so slightly lower to the ground. I probably should have been going around the other way rather than going up this hill, but well, I've already committed now, so we'll go this way round this time. It's only a little bit up here. Once we've done this little bit up here, after that it gets nice and easy. The rest of it is a clean, easy run all the way around the field without any issues. We will go to the big stone in the middle, and we'll do a couple rounds around that one as well. Get a couple bales out of that. No, actually, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave the big stone in the middle. I'm curious to see how the hired help is going to cope with just the stone being as it is. See what it does. It might be alright. On the other hand, it might go completely insane with it and just not cope with it at all. And right there, that's really emphasizing just how poor the front mower is at getting down onto the ground at the moment. Going around that corner there, just because of the way that it's sort of going over the brow of the hill as it does it. It really doesn't like it, does it? It absolutely doesn't like it. And I'm a bit disappointed with that. I'm hoping that there has been an update and the model has been slightly tweaked just to make it run slightly lower to the ground. If there has, absolutely fantastic. That means that then we don't need to worry about it. If there hasn't, though, yeah, I'm going to be disappointed with that. That is something that I am going to be a little bit disappointed with. But yeah, I'm curious to see if the hired help can actually cope with turning ground. If we go up against that stone over there, is it going to be able to deal with going all the way around the field, going sort of up to the stone and then turning soon enough to be able to avoid it? Or is it not? It might not be. It might just prove too much for it to deal with, and it gives up completely. We have no way of knowing at the moment. Sometimes it seems to do these things okay without any issues. Other times, yeah, well, we all know what the hired help is like, so yeah, sometimes there is just no accounting for the hired help whatsoever. We have no clue. So I'm curious what it's going to do over there. I'm very curious. Run on down here. I know that by doing 3 times around the edge here, it is going to take a minute or two to actually get all the way round with the baler as well, because the baler is a little bit slow when we've got this much grass in the swath. But I'm still hoping that it's going to be alright. I'm actually thinking that we should sell this mower and get a different front-mounted one. I'm thinking that might actually work out for the best for us. Because I know I've got another one that I know works well, and that's the one in the class pack. I don't know if it's the same width, though. But that might be worth considering. We keep the Vicon one, we keep the rear ones, because I kind of like those, and we've not had any issues with them. They're actually reaching the full depth that we want them to go to. It's only the front one that seems to be causing us this funny issue. So if I could swap that one over and get a different one, I'll have a look. But before next week, if I remember. I'm going to have to try to remember. I hopefully will remember to check and see if there has actually been any update for the mowers. Or for the pack. I will see if I can see what I can find out with it. There may have been an update there somewhere, in which case absolutely fantastic. If not, then maybe I will get the one from the class pack, because that one's pretty big as well, I think. I think this one was like a 3.2 or 3.4 meter width on it, so we've got to get something that is about the same width. If we get it too narrow, it's not going to fit properly in between the mowers here as we're racing along. I mean, a double, just going around twice does seem to, I reckon that might be enough, actually. Twice round the field may end up being enough. There should be enough distance on it to be able to do the full turn once it gets to the ends of the field. So I mean, maybe it's going to be leaving a little tiny, but you know what, we're gonna try it. We're gonna chance it. That way we don't have to spend absolutely ages doing the twice round the field, the 3 times around the field. We can just do it the twice, and then we can get on with all of the other jobs that we want to get on with as well. So I will bring you up round here. I'm deliberately bringing that in like that. There. A little bit. Well, there's a little tiny bit left over there, but yeah, that should still be enough room for it to turn round, even though I've like gone quite close to the edge over that side. I'm still hoping that it'll be fine. I'm hoping there won't be any issue there. It was just so that I could tidy up the corner as I came on round with that big strip that we missed. Right here, I will just travel straight across here like this, and then go out into the field again as we come over this side, like that. And like I said before, I'm not going to go up against the big stone up there. I'm just easing this round carefully on that corner there, so that I don't have any bits left over. And I want to do the same up here, so that I don't have any bits. That bit there, you can see that little bit of grass that's growing. That's not from going around the corner too sharp. That's from the ground being uneven. Same with that bit. That's the bits that seem to be causing the problems with this particular mower. It's the front one. And just in case you hadn't realized that, just in case nobody had realized it at this point, it is the front mower that is causing the issue, not any others, just the front one. Let's bring you back this way and go like that. And then down with the back one. Off we go again. So once I've done this, I'll just take off the back mowers and put those back in the shed. The front mower, I'm going to keep that one on. And we may actually be able to cut some of the little bits that we've left behind on the first round when we're going around doing the baling. I very much doubt it, though. We'll just leave it on there so that it's ready to go on and do the rest of it. I don't want to leave these lines until the end, because I think that's going to end up causing us problems. If I try and do that and be clever and like do it all at the very end of the thingamahoo's then we're going to end up like with bales right in the way, and because as we come out and turn round, that's when it's going to be dropping the bales, because there's going to be when there's not going to be any more like it'll drop the bales as it comes out to turn round, but then when we go back through again, that's going to end up being a bit of a problem, because the bales being dropped on the turn, then they're going to be in the way when we go back through to do our next turn round. So we need to get these outside rounds cleared and moved so that the rest of it can go through and pick up okay. At least that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping. I'll bring you down this way. I'm going to go like this. Try and be a little bit clever with this. Alright, just go straight down there like that. And then pick up like that. Job done. Right. That bit's finished. So I can fold up the front mower and fold up the back mowers. We'll take these back. Like this. Slowly winding down there, and then we can go and get the baler on the back. So the mowers can go straight in the shed. They're not going to need any kind of servicing or anything like that. I just need to put them away. And the front mower will stay right where it is. It'll be a bit of a counterweight to start with, and then it'll be being used fully anyway. So let's dump that off of there. I do just want to quickly check this. I want to see what we've got. So, mowers right there. The Vicon mower. That's the one that we're using. That is 3.2 meters. The class mower is a 3.6 meters. That one there goes to 10 meters in total, and this one goes to 10.2. So, the rear mowers on the Vicon setup are got a wider capacity than the Disco ones over here. So, I got the class Disco there. At 3.6 meters. That one would go just fine. The Nova Cat there is 3.1. That one's 3.2. The Lely Splendimo is 3.2. We've used that one before. I think we'd go with the... If we were going to get one, if we were to change him over, we would go with the class one, I think. Swap it over and get the class one instead of this one. But... I'll leave it at the moment. I'll see if I can remember to check for any updates on this Vicon DLC pack. So, there may have been an update. I suspect there might have been, because I had an early access one. And I haven't actually looked to see if there were any changes to anything since I first picked this up. So, yes, it does stand to reason that there could have been some updates. Let's put you there, and I'll unfold that mower like that. And then I'm just going to go... Oops, I need to do that. Just going to go with the baler for a minute. Now, even though we have got the increased capacity... Why are you not... I thought I'd already lowered you down. I could have sworn I'd already lowered you down. Not turning very well. Right, let's go back over to here, like that, there, and let's try that again, shall we? Let's lower the actual baler down, and this time we can get started on the baling. So we want to go all the way around, like this. I'm probably going to end up missing some bits to start with, and I am going to now change it over and fire up the front mower here. see, yeah, see, I can get it a little bit. And I'm going to go this way. So we're doing 8k. It is way slow. It's definitely way slow. But the reason that it's way slow is because of the volume of crop that we've got here. I'm hoping it can get up this hill without too much trouble. And I'm going to keep that mower firmly on the ground, and we'll see if that makes any difference. You know, just being in a slightly different position maybe as I go through. Like I'm slightly over there for that bit of grass. It did go and get that bit. It did actually take that bit out. And there's the bale going through, getting ready to be wrapped. And then the next one is already starting up. Now, what you want to watch is the speed that it fills up the bale chamber compared to the speed and gets to 4,000 litres. So it's dropping that one out right there. And it is able to go a little bit faster. Now that we've come up the hill, it should start doing that. There's going to be a bit left behind right there. That's because I was trying to be clever and get the rest of the crop. But that should be fine. And then we go here. It's slowing down again for some strange reason. Quite know why we're slowing down. And bring you on round. Right, so now we're wrapping the bale and we're starting our next bale. It's starting to get into the swing of things now and figuring out just how much goes where. That one is moving into the second bale chamber. We've dumped the bale and 4,000 litres, so it should now be coming out. That's why we're travelling at 8k. That's why it travels so slow, is because this baler is designed to run on 4,000 litres. The variable bale capacity is great. It's fantastic. It works beautifully. But when it comes to this, it's not allowing for the change of capacity. That's the bit that it's not sort of allowing us to deal with and sort of have. And that's fair enough. You'd sort of expect that. Because it's not really designed. It's like the whole variable bale capacity bit it's not really designed for any of that. I'm just going to lift up that front mower. Keep it up out of the way for a second. Once we move off of these large rows, things will speed up a bit. Like everything will speed up a little bit on here, and it will go along that much faster, that much better, because what we'll end up doing is we're only going to be pulling in a small amount. So the baler will readjust itself. It will automatically adjust the speed of the tractor to allow for the new speed that it's supposed to be doing. Now, I know that I've already said all of this, but I need something to talk about while we're going along, and some people will have not seen us talking about this one before. I do like this baler. Like, despite the fact that it is going painfully slow at the moment, I actually still really like the baler. I think it's very nicely done. It's nicely made out. I'm going to put that mower back down again. We've got some more little bits of grass here. Hopefully it will be able to mow some of it. I don't know if maybe it bounced over the grass in places, or if I'm just in a slightly different position compared to what I was the first time that I was going through. Either or, really, at the moment. You know, it could have done absolutely anything on those particular things. Like, it could have just bounced just a tiny bit. It could have just slightly in the wrong place. It is a little bit temperamental and picky, the game itself. We know that with, like, some of the other things that we've experienced on here. We know that it does... It gets a little bit sensitive about things at times. It's very, very, very picky about some things. Now, can I get round... well, I was wondering about maybe getting some of that grass cut there, but I don't think we'll worry about that. The mower's still up in the air anyway. Going down over this hill, let's drop that mower down. We'll leave the mower down in place now, and we will see if we can get any more of the little bits of grass as we go through here. We may not, I don't really know. We've done once round so far, or halfway round. That's more accurate. We've done halfway round the field so far, and no more. Why have I not gone and got started with the combining, you may ask? You know, I could have gone and got going with that rather than worrying about this at the moment, mainly because this job is going to take longer than the combining. So if we get this one going first, and have you noticed that by going much slower, the front mower is actually picking up all of the little bits of grass that were left behind? That is quite good. I like that. I do like the fact that we are getting these bits. Are we going to get this bit, though? It's that bit right there where it steps down there. It even got that. Okay, I am genuinely amazed that we picked that bit up. We've got one more little bit to do all the way down to the bottom. I don't need the mower going anymore. But what we are going to have is potentially that bale dumped right here, which is then going to roll down into the crop. So I want to do that, and then I want it to stop, and I don't want it to move. Hopefully it will stop there. We've got another bale. That other bale doesn't look like it's moving at the moment. We've got a little bit of grass just there on the corner. I'm going to ignore that and hope that it won't make any changes anywhere. And now we can go whizzing along here. We've almost completed our first time around the field. Still down at 9 kilometers an hour. The next round, there are certain parts of the next round that should be a little bit faster. Just to speed it along just a tiny bit. And then the rest of it, we just let the hired help deal with it. If the hired help can do it. So we're going to need to put the hired help going, like the hired help doesn't run the baler at all. The hired help has nothing to do with the baler. So what we'll do is we'll make sure the baler's running like it is right now. And then we put the front mower going for the hired help. We sort of set it running on the field, going backwards and forwards. And then we wait and see. We'll see what it does. I'll need to go and get the trailer in a minute and start running around the field and gathering up all of the bales that we've made so that we can move them out of the way. And this ultimately is stuff that we're going to be selling. Now, we have started mowing, which means that we need to have our timescale down now onto 1 speed and leave it there until all of the mowing is finished. Like, the harvest itself over there doesn't make any difference. It's only the mowing, because the grass grows through again, and sort of that does actually make a difference. That does affect what we do. So we don't want that to be happening. You're going to come down this way and get that little bit there, and then you're going to head up the hill, and you're still going really, really slowly, although it is speeding up a bit here, which is good. I kind of like that, at least. And then around the corner there. Okay, I'm amazed it actually picked all of that up. I genuinely didn't think it was going to pick all of that up going up there. This tractor going up here. I've been told that we're under horsepowered on this tractor. This tractor's got well over 200 horsepower. And people telling me that, you know, we're under horsepowered on the tractors and we need to put more into it. I do think that people tend to like, compared to what farming was like, and I'm talking about real life farming, compared to what farming was like 30 years ago, well, and anywhere from 20 to 50 years ago, I do think that people tend to over horsepower their machines these days. Like, considering I was told by someone who's got real life experience, or I'm assuming they had from the way they were talking, the horsepower requirements for this baler right here are going to be fairly high, yes, and I agree with that. Yes, they are going to be quite high. However, that's to run perfectly and without any slowing down. You would expect a vehicle to slow down going up a hill, and this is where the whole horsepower requirements come in. It can still run well on a lower horsepower tractor. It's just going to go slower, that's all. And especially on the hills, it is going to slow down a bit, but there seems to be more of a tendency, especially among younger people, to over horsepower their machinery. And sort of assume that a vehicle, a machine, needs more horsepower than it actually does. You can get by with running a machine on a lot less horsepower than you think. It will actually keep going on a lot less horsepower than you would imagine that it might. And this is something that I have noticed more and more, that people are automatically assuming that it needs more horsepower than it actually does. And yes, if you want optimal conditions, if you want it to be perfect, running up and down hills, then yeah, double up your horsepower. But that doubles up your expenses, that doubles up your running costs, that doubles up the initial cost of the machine in the first place. And you don't have to do all of that. At least I don't think you do. Now, we want to bring this up round here. Right, where was I? Real life interruption there. We just want to... We haven't actually got very much left to do here now. We can finish off this little bit up here. We've got the tiny patches that do actually seem to be being picked up, which is quite good. I'm very pleased about that. I'm thinking about just leaving the strip along the bottom to do another day, because it's just going to be easier that way. We've obviously got to run down the side of the field with it. I haven't got any choice on that one. And I'll bring you in round here like this. There. Like that. Bring it round. Okay. Yeah, I've got to do this bit down the side, but along the bottom end of the fields, I don't technically need to go and do that, so I could just leave it so that we can hurry up and get this one going. I would very much like to have this one running properly, so we go and get one of the other tractors and gather up the bales very quickly. It won't take very long to go and get them, and then we'll be able to rush around the field nice and quick. See, if we're going slowly, it is picking that up. It just looks like when you're running at full speed with this particular baler, that's the bit that it's struggling with. It's only when running at full speed. Not the baler, sorry, the front-mounted mower. That seems to be the bit that it struggles with, is when we're running at full speed. It's just cause I'm assuming it's like bouncing ever so slightly, because looking at that there, that did go where it was supposed to. Got another bale here making up. Do I leave that one at the front or not, along the bottom end, or not? I think we will. I think we will get that one done, just so that we can, even if we don't have our combine running today, we can at least sort of get stuff ready for it. Want that bale to stay there. Right, you stay where you are, bale. I don't want you doing anything else. Right. Don't have access to this land. I will bring you in around this way, and I'm gonna need to start over at the other end, really. I'll do a bit here, I suppose. Gather up some of that. I'll wait until I'll go along here until I've gathered up a full bale's worth. Right there, 7, almost a full bale. Right, we've got a full bale on here now. So if I pop out of here, like this, then we can travel along. I can lift that one. Oh, I don't want to lift that one up. That one needs to stay down. I want to lift up the... You know what? Let's not complicate things, otherwise something's going to go wrong. I'm absolutely certain something will go wrong. We haven't actually got very much along this bottom end because of how I did it. I sort of ran quite low, so I'm going to go up there, like that. Pull in onto this bit, because this is just a thinner strip, and then I've got that little tiny bit left down there, and I can just set this one going. Should be enough room that it'll start doing its turning round and stuff like that it needs to do. I come down here, take this one up, and that's also a nice little test to see if it's going to start working properly. I can just go here. There's like a few little bits of grass right here that I wanted to gather up. There's that bit there. There's one over here. And then there's a couple bits here from where we first came into the field. I missed that bit completely. Never mind. I'll go back and get that afterwards. It's fine. Yeah, we'll be fine. So let's bring you over this way. Now, is that sort of lined up? It's lined up-ish, isn't it? Bring you like that, I suppose, and press H. Which way are we going? We're going down that way. Right, so you are picking up now. You're coming out. It is going to bale, and then what are you going to do? You're going to go out and round, and you're going to turn. It's high enough in the air that it's not cutting while it's raised. Now, I'm wondering if that is anything to do with why it's the way it is. Like, why we've got this slight issue with the cutting. And you're going over here. Now, how are you going to do this? You've got to turn round, but you've got that bit behind us that you're going to struggle with. So far, everything's working. And then you're going to go into there. Right, so it's not perfect, but it is doing a reasonable job. Let's leave that one going where it is at the moment. You are the next one that I want. I've got some straw that I can put in there in a bit. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to run along here. I'm going to go and get that trailer. And I'm going to race off round and gather up the bales that we have just gone and made, so that they are out of the way of our tractor over there. And it looks like we'll be starting our combining early next week. That's fine. We can do that. We can start the combining next week. We've still got to clean up the yard here before we can do a huge amount more. I'm going into the field this direction this time. So I want to go there and a large square 1.3 rounds. And start loading them like this. Grab that one there, and then whiz back round this way and grab this one, and then I want to go along the bottom of the field. So that's actually doing quite a good job so far. It'll be interesting to see what it does when it needs to wrap a bale. That's what we want to also watch out for, but we'll run over this way first. I'm determined to get all of these before we have to go. Shouldn't take too long. There is one. There's the next one. We've had no bales roll down the field into the wheat field, which is fantastic news. That would be slightly inconvenient if they went and did that. And I want to swing back round here and do that one. And then up the hill, we got two right here next to each other where they've rolled down just into the dip there, partway down the hill. Go and grab them. Just straight in across like that. And then where are the rest of them? There's two up there. There's 3, 4. I can see 4, 5. Surprising how many we got. He's racing up across the field over there. I'm not quite sure. Oh, he's still baling. He is baling. There, I can see the number on it is accumulating as he goes through. We will jump back over and have a look at that in a minute. 11 bales now. Surprising how many we done coming round here. We get a nice thick crop of grass, remember. Whenever we do this, we have been getting lovely thick crops of grass. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm thinking these outside round ones, we'll put these in the total mixed ration mixer. If we put them into the mixer, then we've definitely, we're keeping back enough bales to keep everything running. I don't want to take chances. We came so close to losing that bale right there. We came so close to losing that bale. That was very, very lucky, that was. And it looks like we have now got our first bale complete, so we will be able to see in a minute if that's going to affect anything. Let's get you down here. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll dump these into the feeder there, because I got capacity in it for them. I think I do. Let's bring you back over. We'll bring you over here like this. Right, and I want to stop loading, unload onto the trailer like that. And then I've got to bring them in fairly tight like this. And that plonks them all in there like that. And I have a look here. Right, I've definitely got enough room to put in the rest of them on the other side. So I'll put all of the straps on like that just to hold them in place. That'll keep it nice and easy. And then we can whiz back through. I did find out, like, it was only recent, actually, because in the FS19, it used to be, like, it would really struggle with doing this with the straps. But in this version, it doesn't seem to, right? I don't get any major lag spikes when I try and do that, which is absolutely fantastic. I really love that we can go and do it. Ooh! Let's go and have a look here. Right. Oh, no, it's absolutely fine. It's going along at about 18k. We have left a couple little bits, and there is a little strip along the bottom of the field that it has left as well. But generally, it seems to be doing a pretty good job. It seems to be doing a pretty good job of getting the bales out and wrapping them as well. We've got 2 done so far, right there in the middle of the field. This one here could end up being a problem bale, considering where he is. I don't know. Is he gonna? No, he's gonna dump it right there on the end. Ooh, he's actually gonna be all right. I think he is actually going to be all right. But anyway, we have now run out of time. That is all we have time for this week. We'll be back next week. Remember, I'd like you to talk about the combines. I talked about it in the last episode. I didn't talk about it much today. And then I can make a decision on that and what we do with our slurry and manure. If you missed out on that, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then check out yesterday's episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please hit down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.